First of all, thank you for having me here. It's absolutely a pleasure and an honor. I like giving my own introductions because unfortunately or fortunately, most of the introductions talk about the byproducts of who a person really is. What I mean by that is, if I were to define myself, a simple description of me would be a geek and a nerd who loves playing around with technology. That's who I really am. And I'm very, very fortunate to have a team of, a couple of hundred people across the globe which share the same passion for technology. And we go and assess the security, the tech stacks or the digital stacks of some very, very large companies and help them secure their digital, digital architectures. So today what we will do is fairly, very simple. You've heard a lot of awesome things around risks, cyber. We will not talk about presentations and stats and number anymore. That's one good news. I don't have any presentation. However, we have some demonstrations in store for you. Now, why is that, and what is the motive behind that? In a very simple way, I personally believe very strongly that the challenge in cybersecurity is it's considered a very passive risk. What do I mean by that? When you open the newspaper or read through an Economic Times app that says 3.2 million debit cards hacked, the first reaction in your head is, God, this is bad, but I'm pretty sure my debit card does not belong in those 3.2 million debit cards. When you read a story like 3 billion Yahoo accounts hacked, it's a very natural reaction to say, oh, this is bad, but I'm pretty sure my account doesn't fall in those 3 billion passwords which were leaked. While on the other side, the funny thing is, Yahoo in total had only 3 billion accounts. So it's impossible that your account was not there. But anyway, the point here is that cyber impact is still not seen. It is just read and believed as a passive impact. Today we're going to change that. Today what we will see is a real impact. And I again draw a parallel generally. If you remember that 60-second clip of the aircraft crashing into the World Trade Center, and none of us were okay to be a part of such a horrific incident. As a result, we were okay to go to the airport 45 minutes before our flight because we not only wanted ourselves to be frisked, but everybody who's boarding the same flight as you are, you wanted them all to be frisked and made sure that everybody is secured when you talk about going in the same flight. That's precisely the problem with cybersecurity. You've not seen those 9/11 crashes happening in cybersecurity. You've seen small little columns here and there in the Economic or the Financial Times which say that there have been cyber breaches, but you don't get to feel what really a cyber breach looks like. Today we're going to change that. Today what we will do is not any stats and numbers. I think we are beyond that point where we understand how major of a challenge cybersecurity impacts can bring in. The week that was, if I were to talk about, let's take last 30 days as an example. How many of you know about the Equifax hack? Can I see hands? Equifax, can I see hands? Oh, that's not even 10% of the overall room. It's a shame, and I'll explain you why. Equifax is one of the largest credit rating companies in the world. When it's the equivalent of a civil score that you have in India. And a month back, in fact, it's a champion example that you can have. It was a company founded in 1899, been there for more than 100 years. It's a champion company as an example which has embraced digital and moved its entire operations into digital, which was onboarding customers digitally, managing their credit risks, digitally, and of course, varying their credit scores depending on multiple factors, which were all assessed digitally. The market cap of this company exactly 30 days back was $19 billion. Last year, the turnover of the company was $3.5 billion with only 900 people employed. So you can imagine it's a phenomenal company. Today, that 19 or $18 billion of market cap today is $10 billion in the last 30 days. And this crash happened why? Because 145.3 million Americans and their social security numbers and their corresponding credit scores is out right now in the public. Basically the entire customer database of a company as large as that of a market cap of $18-19 billion, and that out in the public, and they are being trashed left, right, and center. I just spoke to you about the market cap impact. I'm not talking about the top line impact, the bottom line impact, the reputational impact, and obviously the 200 plus lawsuits that have been filed against the company. And this is as we speak right now. The icing on cake, the cherry on cake, do you know what that is? When Equifax was hacked, a lot of their customers were calling them and asking them, is my data out in the public? Am I one of those 145.3 million users whose data is out? Tell me. So Equifax said, to help my customers, I built a new secure, a portal where you can just go, give your social security number and give your first name and last name and check whether your name is there in that entire database or not. And we tweeted this URL, which was equifaxsecurity.com, 7 times in 3 days, because a lot of people were asking. Guess what? The IT team had created a website not by the name of equifaxsecurity.com. They had created by the name of securityequifax.com. Understand the flip? And what they tweeted, equifaxsecurity.com, that website was owned by a hacker, and it was a phishing website. So even those people who were not in that list of 145.3 million people, they ended up giving their social security numbers, which further went, to the hackers. It's like, killing a dead man, shooting a dead man. It's literally like that. And this is not a small company, just to let you know. I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars of turnover and market cap. And they going so horribly wrong when you talk about their preparedness to be cyber prepared. Although they embraced digital very well, they did have a big challenge in embracing digital risks. And this is the problem. This is the challenge that we are talking about. And another example from the last 3 weeks. How many of you know how big Deloitte is? How many of you know Deloitte? Can I see hands? Denise tells me everybody's awake. Okay, so everybody knows Deloitte. I don't need to tell you how big that company is. 250,000 employees, and their emails were monitored for 6 months continuously. 6 months. It said 5 million emails were snooped on. And by the way, Deloitte also has a cybersecurity services arm. And for 6 long months, it was under a hacker's paradise to see any employees, any email outgoing and incoming. And imagine this. Deloitte had no clues about it. This was 4 weeks back. And by the way, they got to know about it 4 weeks back, while the hackers were there from March till 6 months. This is as we speak. This is going on. So first and foremost, the point which I wanted to establish by such examples is cybersecurity is not a science fiction problem anymore. It really affects top lines, bottom lines, reputation, balance sheet, and CEOs really get fired. And that's happened multiple times, not once. Today, again, what we will do here is some demonstrations using which you will get to see how vulnerable we really have become and without realizing it. So that's the intent. Now, why is all of this happening? In a very, very simple way. Hacks have totally changed. What used to be hacks as you remember characters dancing on the screen, files replicating itself on a pen drive, etc., etc. These used to be malwares 10 years back. Now, those are not called malwares. Now, there are far more sophisticated attacks. If you know Stuxnet, it's considered as the 9/11 of the cybersecurity world, where the US and Israel came together and had 11 0 days. A 0 day means it's like a nuclear explosion. I'll show you a 0 day today. Where if you have a 0 day for a particular computer, for basically a particular service or an operating system, like if I have a 0 day for Windows 7, I'll be able to hack into Windows 7. It doesn't matter what antivirus, firewall, anti-malware, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention system it has. That's the meaning of a 0 day. One 0 day is like a huge deal. It's like literally takes hundreds of millions of dollars to invest and build a 0 day. It's like making a vaccination, like in true sense. On the other side, these people had 11 0 days in one malware implanted to take down the Iranian nuclear power plant. Why? In order to go ahead and change the speed of the turbines that move in the power plant. It didn't stop there. They further hacked the monitoring system of the turbine so that when the speed gets changed, the alerting system should not be able to go ahead and alert the people that the speed has changed. That's how sophisticated the attacks were. One more example, day before yesterday, if you followed the front page of the New York Times, day before yesterday, the headline was, A cyber breach that shook the United States government and the NSA by the core 3 years back is still unsolved. We'll talk about it today and we'll show you which that breach was. We'll live hack things with that. So I'm going to show you multiple demonstrations today. In the interest of time, I do understand I stand between you and the dinners and drinks. So I won't take a lot of time in theory. Let's go into practicals and let's talk about some live hacks. Now, in the interest of time, I can keep giving you a lot of examples and demonstrations. I'm going to pick and choose 2 popular things to hack out here. So I'm going to ask you, if you were to give me one thing that you want to see hacked right now, what would that be? What is that one piece of technology that you want me to hack right now, which is probably the most important thing in your life, in your personal, professional life, anything? It has to be the phone, obviously. All right, sir. So we'll do the phone first. What is the second most piece of important technology that you've got through which you access the internet, and you would love to see it get hacked? What would that be, sir? Your laptop, right? So can I say between the mobile phone and the laptop? When I say laptop, I'm also talking about your desktops. These are the only 2 windows through which you access the world of digital. And today we will see live hacks of both of them. If that gets done, I'm pretty sure you understand. You're covering everything which is behind that, right? So we're going to start with that. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it happens, and we'll figure things out. Now, we'll start with the live mobile phone, cell phone hack right now. I need one brave volunteer who indemnifies me that I would not be responsible for what's done to their phones, but who doesn't mind me going ahead and doing something around his or her cell phone and basically trying to show you how the hacking works. Anybody who would like to volunteer? Sir, are you okay with that? Okay, I'll take your phone, please. Thank you so much. You can stay there. All right. So let's see. All right, thank you. So I had his phone for a couple of seconds in my hand, and I've given back to you. Thank you so much. You can sit down, sir. So I'm pretty sure that you guys do this, right? I mean, considering how good of a human being we are, if somebody comes to you and says, look, I've run out of battery, can I please use your phone? I'm pretty sure, considering how nice we are, we don't mind giving away the phone for a couple of seconds. And the person can make a phone call and give it back to us, right? You can imagine that's almost the same case what has happened with this phone, right? Now, but there's a fundamental difference, and I'll explain what that difference is. Let me go to the, so we need to switch the display. Just a second. Alright, so, yeah, so we got this tool that we've developed in our labs. We call it Lucideus. It says select a device to get started, and there are a lot of devices out here. Where do I see this? Okay, so is this a Redmi Note 3? Are you sure? Alright. So this is Redmi Note 3 and this is today's date. So this looks like your cell phone. Let me click here. It says select what you would like to view. Alright, let's see what this is. Can I give you your contacts? Alright, let's see. Are these your contacts, sir? Pinky US? Are these your contacts? All of them? Yeah. So the entire list, I'm sure a lot of HDFC people would be here, right? Maybe the personal banker. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to search, but yeah, you got it, right? So a lot of people here and there. Okay, so can I click on your SMS? All right. Are these your SMSs? Still on the gate. Okay, I'm not going to let people read it, but yeah, are these your SMSs? The entire list? All sent received right now? All of these? There's a very long list actually. Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah. Okay, long list. So this is SMS. I can click on call logs. Do you want me to click on the browser history? Are you sure? Like, don't click on it, no matter what. Got it. I'll not do it, sir. Whatever you say. So just a second. I will just let me see something. Yeah, I'm going to click on GPS. Let's see what this says. Okay, it's showing me the GPS location of his phone right now, and I think this is pretty accurate. It says we're in BKC, and It's quite close to, yeah. I think this is pretty much accurately where we are right now. Is this the location, sir? I think so. I can click on something called audio recording. Give it some time. Let me tell you what more can I do with this. Do you have a Gmail ID, sir? If I go to gmail.com right now and click on forgot my password, will it send an OTP on your phone? Can I reset your ID then? I won't do it, but yeah. Can I do it potentially? I can. If I can reset your Gmail ID, can I get an access to all your emails and your chats? If I do that, next step, do you have a Facebook ID? Do you have a Twitter ID, an Instagram ID, a LinkedIn ID? Have they all been created using your Gmail ID? So if I go to all of them and click on forgot my password, will it send an OTP on your Gmail? It will. And once that happens, can I go ahead and basically, provide, reset all that password and take an access to all of it? If I go to net banking, I'm pretty sure you get a personal statement, bank account statement on your Gmail ID. When you get that, I'll know your username. Once I know your username, if I go to your net banking, click on forgot my password. You'll send me an OTP on your SMS. Can I read your SMS? Can I read your Gmail? And can I reset your net banking password? Yes, I can. All of this with his phone in my hand for what? A couple of seconds. Now, this is what we meant. This is what was meant by it's so easy to be able to go ahead and do something on the phone using which somebody can completely access all the information which I just showed you. I can take it one step further, see the pictures, and there are ways by which WhatsApp stores all your messages in an encrypted format on your phone, even the deleted messages. So there's a way by which you can decrypt those messages also. So you can get back the deleted WhatsApp conversations also of somebody's phone. And all of this is possible with his phone in my hand in a couple of seconds. And believe me, it's not just me in my hand. It can be anybody who can do this. If I can do it, a lot of people can do it. Because in fact, you'll be happy to know this. I didn't even hack his phone. It was a very basic hacking 101 demonstration that I really gave. In fact, right before me, you actually had, Nitin talk about how do you go ahead and how do apps simply take permissions where they read your SMSs and give you a 20,000 rupee loan. I did something similar. The only difference is I didn't install an app, but I installed a service by the name of com.android.system. So it looks like a service which is a genuine Android service. It doesn't have an icon, so you can't see that in the app list which is there. But it's a service, and in the manifest file I take the permissions of how I'm able to go ahead and access all the permissions which are there, like any service or any app would do. The only difference is they don't show you all this information, which they already have, but I showed it to you. To be honest, this was not even hacking. A first-year computer science student can make a service like this, who knows basic programming on Android. But it's that easy to do all of this. Now, there's still one basic question which you can ask. That if you took his phone for a couple of seconds in the hand, would it not be so amazing if you can do all of this without touching his phone? Without doing an intervention from somebody else? Can you hack into something? That brings me to my second hack. What we will show you now is how do you hack in from one computer to the other without any intervention of the victim. What that means is, I will not send an email, I will not send a file, I will not do anything. All I'll do is, I'm on the same network as my victim is. When I say same network, it can be the same hotel network, it can be the same office LAN, it can be the same airport lounge Wi-Fi, it can be the same Starbucks Wi-Fi. So I can be on the same network with the victim, and I'll be able to hack it. As simple as that. I'll show that to you live. I'll explain that how it works. So I'll need you to switch the display. All right. So this is how. Okay. So this is. I have two machines that I'll be using. One is this is a standard Windows computer. I'm pretty sure all of you use Windows, so you know what a standard Windows computer looks like. And this is a standard, this is my computer, as a hacker's computer. So I'm going to hack from this computer to this computer without sending any file, without sending any, anything or making them click on anything. We'll simply go in from that computer to this computer without the knowing about it. Give you some background, in fact I'll give that after the hack happens so that you get an idea. I'm going to use an exploit out here. Now what is the meaning of an exploit? Think of it like this: if I have to rob a bank, the first thing I need to do is get a key that can open the wall. That's number one. Once I have a key that can open the wall, the next step is to go with a bag that can carry all the money to take it out. That's the only thing which is required. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using a framework publicly available. It's called Metasploit framework. It has 1,677 exploits, out of which I only use one exploit. Because I just need one key, right? I might have a bunch of keys. There's like 1,677 keys to unlock a computer or a server or a service, whatever. Out here, I'm simply going to use one of those keys. Which key am I using here? It says use exploit Windows SMB MS17010 Eternal Blue. This is the exploit that was used in the actual hack of WannaCry. How many of you know about WannaCry? Can I see hands? Almost everybody. How many of you know how WannaCry really happened on ground? Can I see hands? Almost nobody. This is the disconnect that I'm talking about. The unfortunate reality is, you just get to hear on top what it is all about. It's like bitcoins, How many of you have heard about bitcoins? Can I see hands? How many of you, even one of you, can explain me how bitcoins and distributed ledgers and blockchains work? Can I see hands? Not even one. And I can guarantee you, at least 20% of the population out here is already invested in bitcoins because somebody said that. Believe me when I say it's really funny. I take these workshops, one-day workshops on cryptocurrencies and bitcoins and hashing and crypto, analysis of blockchains. And the funny thing is people have absolutely no clue. They're putting money in that. Like the tulip bubble that came in Netherlands in 1600s. But anyway, coming back out here, I'm going to show you the real exploit. This is the real exploit. Because it's a framework, so I'm using this framework. I'm saying use, which is the bank account, which is used in my phone calls, which is used in my PAN card, which is now going to be used in my 10th and 12th board examinations, my airport entry, all of that stuff. Is it not possible for the government to build a bridge someday to monitor using that one number all the things which I'm doing? Potentially, yes, it is possible. But if you open the Aadhaar Act, which is basically the law that Aadhaar has to follow, it says it is prohibited, both from the government side and the private side, to ever connect Aadhaar of two different entities. It is not possible. Legally, it is not. It's impossible to do that. Now you can always say, but legally nahi hai, but kal ko agar law change ho jaye, agar law change ho jaye, to Indian Penal Code bhi change ho sakta hai kal. Tomorrow, murders might become legal. That is not the case, right? To change the law, you need the entire parliament's approval. And changing the law is a big deal. It really is a big deal, right? So my point is that this part that I'm linking my Aadhaar card, and because of which government will monitor on me, it's absolute utter nonsense. The only people who have a problem with that are the ones who have fraudulent bank accounts. Because after this, think of it, if every bank is connected to Aadhaar, can you imagine how difficult it will be to open a fraudulent bank account? If every SIM card is connected to Aadhaar, can you imagine how difficult it will be for a terrorist who walks into our country and simply goes and gets a fake PAN card or a fake driving license, which is so easy to acquire, all of you know that, and get a SIM card, and that will be eliminated the moment you say that you have to make a Aadhaar authentication compulsory, because he can't give his fingerprint. The moment he gives a fingerprint, he is being registered by the Aadhaar database. And then tomorrow, if there is a problem, of course, if he's not a citizen, how can he do that? So my only point is that, it's absolutely no problem. And the last part, which you said, what happens if my Aadhaar numbers come out in the public? I was there, 3 weeks back I was on Al Jazeera in the US, on the news. And again, you had some pseudo-intellectuals from India itself, unfortunately, which had a big problem with Aadhaar, saying, Aadhaar is the worst privacy stuff, blah, blah, blah. They simply said, what happens is, and they said there are 40 million Aadhaar card numbers which are in the public. The funny thing is, there is absolutely nothing that you can do if you know my Aadhaar number. Immediately, while on the show, I went to Twitter and I tweeted my own Aadhaar number. You can take my Aadhaar number. I challenge you if you can do something with that. Social security number was a problem in the US because you could open a credit card if you knew somebody's social security number and produced fake documents. Out here you can't produce the fake fingerprint because without that, just by having Aadhaar number, you can't open a bank account. You need the biometrics basically. And when the biometrics are not there, what will you do with the Aadhaar number? So I'm just trying to remove the clutter. And the problem is in general media, the things which are more popular are anti-government. I mean, I'm not like pro-government in any way. I don't have any legal, I don't have any political, aspirations or anything connected to any party. But I, as a tech person, I have to call a spade a spade. So if something is good, I think it's the first time ever on the planet that somebody like a Microsoft and a Skype has integrated. Skype is integrated with Aadhaar. It has never ever happened where one of the best Silicon Valley companies would integrate with a project done by Government of India. Think of it, 10 years back, thinking that government so bahut baad mein karti hai. You're actually talking, in fact, if you want to talk more about it, Amazon is trying to do contactless payments in Seattle. And using Aadhaar, you have 500 million bank accounts today, where you don't need credit cards, you don't need debit cards, and you don't need the mobile phone. It's already there, beamed with Aadhaar. As a merchant, you can just get somebody who has taken 500 rupees worth of product. He just gives the fingerprint, and through that, the transaction happens. This technology is still being tested by Amazon, which is a global, thought leader in retail in the US, and we have 500 million people who are ready and who can do this thing, and this already started in the villages and the thing. So I think as Indians, we should know what we should be proud of and stop bashing these brilliant initiatives. I'm not talking about the government, by the way. Aadhaar was not BJP, it was actually Congress. So I'm not talking about BJP or Congress, but something good as an Indian, I believe we should definitely back that rather than worry too much about the noise which is there. I hope that answers your question. There's no more time, so I'll just shut up and I'll come back. I'm around for dinner, so happy to catch up. Thank you.